Hi there, my name's Ed, and I'm a little bit of a tea head. And at the end of this tea session, I just wanted to go through the different types of tea. So when you think about tea, you probably think of tea bags, you probably think of England, and what you're thinking of is black tea. But there's actually lots more different varieties of tea, which we tend not to hear about. Most people know about green tea and potentially oolong tea, but there's even more than that. So yeah, tea is incredibly varied, and there's loads of different elements that go into different teas. But I just want to quickly go through the basic different types of tea. So I'll start with white tea. White tea is probably the closest tea to the original leaf. It's just literally sun-dried. Here I've got a blossoming tea, so it's a part of a star, and just the leaves here are white tea. So that's white tea. Next up is green tea. So this is a imperial green, or Longjing, or dragonwell as it's known. A very popular tea in China. And green tea is just wilted and then pan heated to stop oxidation. So it's another step in the processing, but again, it's very kind of pure tea. And what you typically get with green teas is that they're the buds and the young leaves of the tea tree. So when a plant's growing, it puts more focus or more energy, let's say, into the top leaves, so the buds and the young leaves. And what that means is you get a different set of chemicals in those leaves compared to the older leaves. And that's why, contrary to popular belief, that green tea actually has the most caffeine compared to other different types of tea. So moving swiftly on. Next we have oolong tea, which is an oxidized tea. So in the processing of the tea is bruised. So it's either rolled or shaken in order to release some of the oils in the tea, which allows the air to react with the oils. So if you ever left an apple core out, or taken a bite of an apple and left it, you'll see that it turns a bit brown. That's the process of oxidization, so the reaction with air. So oolong teas are teas that have reacted with the air. So this is a tea guanyin, a very common oolong tea. And the oxidation can range from 15 to 80%. So you can get quite light oolongs, and you can get quite dark oolongs. So, and another different kind of contrast is also rolled oolongs and strip oolongs. So this is a darker strip oolong. This is Royal Peach Orchid. There we go. So just within oolong teas, you can get dark oolongs, light oolongs, rolled oolongs, strip oolongs, and you can also roast oolongs as well. So there's loads of different variety in oolong. And next up, we have black tea. So black tea is actually known as red tea in China, because they talk about the colour of the actual tea rather than the leaf when it comes to black tea. And this is just the tea that we most commonly know or associate to be with tea. So here we are. This is I think this is a Lapsang Souchong, but I'm not entirely sure. It was gifted to me, so I don't have all the details. And this is just a more oxidized tea than oolong, so it tends to be sort of 90 to 95% oxidized, which means it's kind of like a richer, darker flavour. And then finally, on to Pu-erh tea. So Pu-erh is an aged tea. So it goes through lots of steps of processing. So it's wilted, pan heated, bruised, like the oolong and black teas, and then it's sun dried, and then it's left to ferment or age. And there's two different types of Pu-erh. So there's raw Pu-erh, which I have here. This is a vintage leaf from, I think, 2006. So it's been aging all that time. It's a loose leaf Pu-erh. And then you can have ripe Pu-erh. So here I've got part of a tea cake actually. So when they make Pu-erh, they tend to put it into, or they tend to press the leaves down into a tea cake. If you want to know what that looks like, you can Google tea cake. And that's one of the typical kind of shapes that they put tea into for aging. So the difference between raw Pu-erh and ripe Pu-erh, which is also known as cooked Pu-erh, or I believe it to be Shu Pu-erh, I think, is that this is over a process of over a period of a few weeks. It's sort of steamed, and what that does is it really kick-starts the fermentation process. So if you notice, you might not be able to see that easily, but this is a darker tea than this. Typically Pu-erhs are a little bit lighter and greener. So those are the two different types of Pu-erh tea. And I think that's all the different types of tea. I mean, not all of them, sorry. There's one more, which isn't sort of a main or very popular or widely known tea, which is yellow tea, which originally was a royalty. So made for kind of emperors and whatever else. It tends to be sort of a gift tea. And quite interesting with this tea, the processing method was actually lost. People forgot how to make it because it was so secretive. People had forgotten the method to making it, but it's actually been rediscovered, or was rediscovered in around the 70s. And I can't remember how it's made, but you can do some research yourself if you'd like into yellow tea, but it's a slightly kind of less well-known tea or less kind of produced tea. So there we go. Those are the 5 different types of tea, which actually break down into many more different types of tea. There's so much variety in tea. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to be doing some more tea videos in the future, so if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you later.